The US-China trade war is a conflict that has been brewing for years. While not a war in the traditional sense, the economic consequences have been far-reaching. In 2025, the simmering tensions boiled over. What began as targeted tariffs quickly escalated into a full-blown trade war. The year started with the US imposing a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. This was followed by tariffs on steel and aluminum, targeting China and other countries. Retaliatory tariffs from China were swift, focusing on US agricultural products. The situation deteriorated rapidly. By April, tariffs reached staggering heights. The US imposed a 145% tariff on Chinese goods. China responded with a 125% tariff on US goods. This tit-for-tat exchange had a chilling effect on global trade. A glimmer of hope emerged in May with a 90-day truce. Tariffs were reduced, and some restrictions were lifted. However, this truce is temporary, and the underlying tensions remain. The trade war is far from over. The US-China trade war has had a significant impact on the global economy. The most immediate consequence has been the disruption of supply chains. Businesses that rely on components from both countries have faced delays and increased costs. The trade war has also led to job losses in both countries. In the US, businesses have laid off workers due to decreased demand and increased costs. China has also experienced job losses, particularly in export-oriented industries. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, warned of an increased risk of recession in the US. This is due in part to the trade war's impact on business confidence and investment. The trade war has also contributed to market volatility, creating uncertainty for investors. Despite these challenges, China's economy has shown some resilience. Its exports have continued to grow, albeit at a slower pace. This suggests that China is seeking to diversify its trading partners and reduce its reliance on the US. The US-China trade war has elicited strong reactions from political and economic leaders. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has advocated for strategic decoupling from China in certain sectors, particularly those related to national security. Former President Trump, who initiated many of the tariffs, has hailed the recent negotiations as a great trade deal and a personal victory. However, this assessment is not universally shared. In China, Hu Xijin, the former editor of the state-run Global Times, declared the deal a great victory for China. This perspective highlights the differing interpretations of the truce and its implications. Economist Pier Giuseppe Fortunato believes the U.S. overestimated its leverage in the trade war. He predicts that the U.S. will eventually settle for lower average tariff rates, suggesting a potential shift in the U.S.'s approach. The 90-day truce offers a temporary reprieve, but the future of U.S.-China trade relations remains uncertain. The truce does not address the fundamental issues at the heart of the trade war, such as intellectual property rights and forced technology transfer. The U.S. may seek further concessions from China, including increased purchases of American goods. However, it is unclear if China will be willing to meet these demands. The trade war has exposed the deep divisions between the two economic superpowers. The ongoing trade war has significant implications for global trade. It has created uncertainty and volatility in the global economy, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. The trade war has also accelerated the trend of deglobalization, as countries seek to reduce their reliance on global supply chains. The outcome of the US-China trade war will have a profound impact on the global economic order. A protracted trade war will likely lead to further economic fragmentation and could have severe consequences for global growth. A negotiated settlement, while challenging, remains the best hope for a more stable and prosperous future